Okay, guys, I've just had an amazing idea, actually. Oh, no, okay. Oh, there's a crate down there, guys. And then, ouch. Oh, what happened? What's happened? Oh, my goodness. What is going on? Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 15 of my Stormworks career mode Let's Play. I'm really excited today, guys, not only for this episode, but the one afterwards as well. So behind the scenes, guys, I have yet again been building something completely new. In fact, it's something that I've never made before, and I'm very, very excited to use it. And then in the next episode, we are going to do some treasure hunting, guys. We're going to search for treasure chests under the ocean. That might be a hint of what I've built. But before we can do all that, guys, I have to do a mission first because we are lacking just a few research points here. I think I need 2 more to research the last components I need to complete this new vehicle. So to start off with, everybody, we are going to do one mission, which will give us enough points to complete the rest of the build. And then I'm going to show you the project that I've been working on. Okay, so here is the mission we have to do this morning, and it says install sensor module to oil well on ocean floor. Now this is fine, I've done it a few times before, you guys may have seen this as well, but yeah, so there'll be no problem here, and it's very easy, there's no timer for this one. And here is the description. So, the Clam Oil Company have experienced an equipment failure, and they can no longer fit their sensor equipment to the wall at the rig site. Go to the oil rig and retrieve the sensor module, install it to the rig well on the ocean floor. Okay, now after this mission, guys, there is one job we have to do in preparation for next episode when we do our treasure hunting, and that is we have to do some reconnaissance, okay? So I'll explain that after we finish this mission here, but first of all, let's get out there. I'll see you over at the oil rig. Okay, so we're at the rig now, guys, and over to my left is a sensor that we have to put down on the ocean floor. So I'll show you that right now. There it is, and all we have to do is put it onto the lift on the right-hand side, winch it down into the water, and then luckily what I've done is I've installed a couple of diving suits onto my helicopter here, so we can actually grab that, dive straight down. Hopefully no sharks will attack us. We can connect it up, and then the mission is complete. It's as easy as that, guys, but the only thing we have to worry about is sharks at this point. So let's get in the water and hopefully everything will be fine. Okay, now as you may remember, guys, from last time, we used this thing and we've got it a bit stuck on the railing there. So I'm just going to move it about and try and free it up a bit. And I think that's the one we need. Okay, that seems to be about right. And I'm just going to push it off the edge. Okay, careful. Right, that's about right, I think. Now we can use these connectors, maybe, or you might have to just run it in there somehow. There we go. I mean, it's not too heavy, so it's we've left a bit of a ledge down there. I think that's going to be okay. Right, come on. I guess, guys, you could just like push it off the top and let it fall into the water, but oh no, okay, that that just happened. Is it damaged? No, it's fine. So now what we're going to do then is, wow, 91 meters below. I do just need to go and grab my diving gear, and then we're going to bring it down. Now, if you don't wear the diving gear, running out of air is not the only problem. Actually, the pressure is quite high down there as well, so you can get damaged from pressure. And yeah, so definitely, guys, bring not just the scuba diving gear, but the actual diving suit, whatever it's called. Okay, there we go. Equip diving equipment. That's what it's called. That is the one right there. Okay, diving gear is now equipped, as you can see there. And we're just going to grab any of these mags. I think that one will be fine, to be honest. We want to get right over this thing, but I think there's a platform here. Yeah, so we need to go over the edge, actually, first. There seems to be a gap just here. Right, that's probably okay there. Right, let's go, guys. I'm just going to hold control. And I'm just going to be careful. We don't want to put too much force on the grip here and then actually let go of it and send it back to the top. Now, actually, what I should have perhaps done first is turn on the magnet before I went down here. It's just a bit easier, but it actually doesn't matter. So here we go. Here is the well, and there is the mag that we're attaching it to. So as I'm holding onto this thing with E, I'm going to let go, and hopefully it won't float up too quickly. And then we can press the button. Okay, that's on. Mags are on. Is that the right one? Actually, I think there's a key that we need to turn. That's it there. Right, now the mag's on. We could take it back down. And then I believe there is another button or key on this thing as well. But where is... Oh, there it is. Okay, that's good. There's the key. So here's one of the more tricky bits, I guess, is to hold on with E and then use Q to turn the key. There we go. That's the best opportunity we've had. There. It's on. But this mag has turned off, apparently. Yep, the mag turned off. Oh, well, there we go. It's gone on its own. Well, that was easy. And it's done. Mission complete. 9 points, 4 9x9 wheels, and nearly 6 grand. Guys, that is done. I love these details down here. I mean, you know, you hardly go here. It's only for one mission. But look at that. It's just really cool. Really cool to see these things. Anyway, before the sharks come, we better go back to the surface. And now, guys, we can actually research our components that we need to build the last piece of my new vehicle. Now, let's get back into this lift here, if we can. And we'll use it to get back up to the top, because it's nice and easy. And then we can have it all prepared for next time as well. Where's the up button? There we go. That one there. Job done, everybody. Job done. Nice and easy. And actually, before we do this, let's go into the research panel. Now, oh good, I'm not researching anything. So just before this video, guys, I have researched 2 new things, okay? And one of them was jets. The other one was video equipment, actually. So now those are done, we can research, I think it's solid rockets. Yeah, we need this, okay? We need this one to complete our build. So I'm going to click on research there. Now we only have 7 points to go. That is going to take 3 hours, 50 minutes. But don't worry, guys, because I will fast forward the time by sleeping when we get back to base. Oh, my goodness. What is going on? Now, there's a lot of force up there. This could ping up at any moment and destroy me. So I'm going to try and jump. Let's see what happens. Oh, dear. That was terrible. I guess, guys, I'll fast forward and see you up at the helicopter. Right, here we are then, back at the helicopter, and I'm going to put my diving gear back on. There we go. Now the screen is a bit brighter. There is... I don't know what's happened there, but it's got stuck. And the ropes are... There's quite a bit of tension there, so I'll leave it there for now. I don't want to touch that thing, just in case. So next, everybody, we're going to do some recon, and I'm going to explain why right now. So in the next episode, as I said before, we're going to do treasure hunting, okay? And to do treasure hunting, we need to find some shipwrecks. Now, one of the reasons why we're doing recon is not only to find shipwrecks to do our treasure hunting, but also we need to see how deep they are, okay? That's very, very important. It doesn't mean that we can't explore any shipwreck, but I want to find out which ones are, you know, more and less dangerous. There's actually a couple of wrecks quite close to where we are now. But I'm also going to go and uncover a bit more of the world on the map as well as we go. Now here on the map then, this is where we are, just south of our starter base almost. And down here, you can see there is a shipwreck, HMS Midlothian or Midlothian, okay? So we're going to go here first and check it out. But first of all, guys, I'm going to go and install a distance sensor onto my helicopter so we can just see exactly how deep it is underneath us when we're over it. Now, there is another shipwreck, guys, just down here, next to, I think that's the multiplayer island, isn't it? I think so. So here is the Mr. New Jersey shipwreck down here, okay? So we can go to this one second and explore that, see how deep it is. But of course, we're not actually going to go down there. We're going to save that for the next episode with our new vehicle. Now, from here, I can actually do a bit of flying around just to uncover a bit more of the map down here. And I think, you know, as our main base is up here, it'd be worth exploring up north as well and just uncovering a bit of this area because there may be some shipwrecks a bit closer to home, okay? So that is the plan. Right then, so now the mission is done, everybody. I'm going to head back to base and I'm going to sleep through the night, hopefully advance our research a bit. I'm also going to hopefully get rid of this bad weather, and then in the morning we'll fit a distance sensor to our helicopter so we can measure depth, and then we're going to fly out to various different shipwrecks and explore some more of the map and just see how many ships we can find as well as how deep they are. Okay guys, we're approaching the first shipwreck now, and it's about 2 kilometers away. I've just stopped here to show you what I've added to this helicopter. So just under the cockpit here, there is a distance sensor which measures up to 250 meters. That is plenty for what we need. And in the on the panel here, I've got a dial for that just so we can read it just from the seat there. Very, very simple, but that should be everything we need to do our recon mission now. So let's head over to the first shipwreck and find out how deep it is. Right, we've just arrived, everybody, and that is it just there. Right underneath that waypoint, there is a shipwreck. So what we need to do is land directly over it pretty much, and then find out just how many meters below it is. Have we gone over it? Oh, that's pretty much perfect, guys. And as you can see, it's now really calm. The rain has gone. It's morning. Okay. Right, that's it. Now, if we have a look on the dial here, 83 meters, guys. That is perfect for my vehicle. In fact, we can cope with a bit more than that. So that is absolutely perfect and very good news. And also, if we do it in the daytime, the sun is going to be shining down there, and we might be able to see a little bit as well. But, you know, it does get darker down there, so don't worry, I have prepared for that as well. But now we can do this one. Let's move on to the next shipwreck. That was HMS Midlothian there. But the next one is just southeast a bit, and it's not very far away, the Mr. New Jersey one. Let's go and see how deep that is. But it is gorgeous out here today. It's flat calm. It's morning as well, because we slept through the night. The research, by the way, let's just have a look at that. The research has 2 hours, just over 2 hours left. And that's how far away we are from our waypoint. So everything is going really well so far. And I'm sure by the end of the episode, we'll have the research done. Then I'll have the parts necessary to complete the build, and I'm going to show you guys the build itself. And then in the next episode, as I say, we'll actually take it out, use it, and hopefully find some treasure. Now here is the multiplayer island, guys, and I'm sure around here we must be able to find some crates on land and in water. So do keep your eyes out for that. I'll do my best to find some. And then here is our waypoint. We're almost directly above it now. So we'll carefully take ourselves down. And try not to bash into the water too hard. There we go. It's just over to the left-hand side. Okay, careful. Nice, nice. Guys, it's very hard to control 2 hands on the keyboard and your mouse for the camera at the same time. But there we go. Maybe one day we'll have VR in this game. I mean, I'm not expecting that, but that'd be pretty fun, wouldn't it? Much easier to fly aircraft with that. And there we go. Very gentle, very gentle. Now, I'm just going to make sure on the map that our waypoint is exactly over that shipwreck. And it seems to be a bit off, so I'm just going to replace that. There we are, that's better. And you never know, there might be some kind of shelf that instantly drops off and goes a lot deeper or something. So we want to be as exact as possible here. But it's only a few meters away. So we're going to reposition ourselves. Very good, very good. And there we go. That's pretty much on, I think. Yeah, a little bit back. So my sensor is right at the front there, and that's fine, isn't it? Right there. Okay, let's have a look at the dial then. How deep is this shipwreck? 80 meters again, the same as the other one pretty much. That is perfect, guys. I'm very excited now. That's not going to be any kind of problem for us. The only problem is they're quite far away, and as you'll see later, I may have to improve the range of my my vehicle a bit. But at least, you know, I think it's going to be fine. Now what I'm going to do next, guys, is actually uncover some more of the map down south up to the sides, and then I'm going to fly north, and hopefully we'll find some shipwrecks closer to base, but any extra ones will be good at this point. So, and also, if I do find any crates, I'm going to show you footage of me collecting those as well, guys, alright? So let me bring you back in when I've got a bit more of the map uncovered. Okay, guys, I've just had an amazing idea, actually, which is going to help me a lot, okay? So over in this direction, and we passed it earlier, there's an island here, which has got a full-size dock in it. But the good thing is, it only costs $15,000 if I remember correctly, okay? So what I'm going to do is actually buy it, and then we're much closer. We can spawn in our new vehicle much closer to these shipwrecks, and that's going to be really, really helpful. And with any luck, we might even find a crate or two on that island to regain some of the money that we've spent. But I do think it's definitely worth it, and 15 grand is, you know, at this stage, it really isn't that much at all. So that is it just over there. It's, what is it, 4.5 kilometers from here, and I'm flying a bit too high at the moment. But also, it's fairly close to the... Oh, what happened? What's happened? Something really weird just happened to my helicopter. But anyway, it's fairly close to the other shipwreck as well, I believe. So that's what we're going to do right now. Okay, here we are, a brand new island, guys, and as I say, I think it is worth $15,000. I'm pretty sure it is, which is outstanding. We also get a full tank of diesel as well to go with it, of course, which is worth more than the island itself, quite a lot more actually. Yeah, so that tank of diesel would probably be worth about $23,000. So we're actually gaining money by buying it, essentially. But anyway, let's cut off the engine here. And I'm going to remain ducked to avoid hitting our head on those rotors. Now let's find out how much it costs. There you go. $15,000. It's super cheap, guys. I do recommend anyone in career mode who wants to get a full-size dock and, you know, a pretty nice, decent island as well. I really, really recommend this one. Lots of space out here as well to put, you know, cranes and things if you really want to. You can't build on this island as far as I know. You can only build vehicles here. You can't build, you know, buildings and static objects as well. However, you do actually get this building over here, and I'll just purchase it right now. There we go. We've still got 132 grand after this. Let's go inside, and hopefully we might find a crate or something in here. Here's the reception desk. Nothing in there. There's a garage. No, nothing in here either. But you can use the doors, I think. Yep, you can. So you could even put some kind of vehicle in here if you want to. But let's close that and head into here. No, nothing at all. That's a shame. But you do get a bed, you know, the basics, really, as you would expect normally. Well, never mind. It could be worse, couldn't it? There might even be a crate around here if we just do a bit of exploring. Okay, nothing in that direction. Nothing around the back of these containers. So it seems like we're a bit unlucky with this, guys. Nothing there. I mean, there are, you know, possibly some on the rocks as well. So we'll just quickly check over here in this direction. Now, another reason why it'd be good to have this island is because the big red ship is so expensive to use, right? But if we have a mission which we need that boat for and it's based around this area, we can fly over here in the helicopter, then get out the big red ship, which you can, I believe, spawn in here. It's probably big enough. And then... ouch. and then we're going to save a ton of fuel and time, actually, as well. So anyway, this is now our new base of operations for treasure hunting at the moment. And down here is the first shipwreck that we discovered. It is only, well, under 1 kilometer away, which is super good. It's so easy to do. And from there, of course, we can move on to this shipwreck down here, Mr. New Jersey. But what I'm going to do is now go and uncover the map, and hopefully we'll find a few extra shipwrecks along the way. Okay, guys, look over to the right-hand side. We found a crate on the way, and we've uncovered a new island as well. So I'm just going to go and grab this crate right now. Then we're going to continue flying west and then north to uncover more shipwrecks, ideally. But let's grab this one first. Easy, easy. Right, it's a bit dangerous doing this stuff. I'm actually going to cut the engine. Actually, no, I'm not going to cut the engine because battery needs to recharge. And I'm a bit worried about that battery. It's getting super low for some reason. But here we go then. Crate number 1 of the day. Okay, a keep active block, 12 research points, very important, and $900. Let's carry on. Not a bad one, that. Not bad at all. I mean, it's not much money, is it? But as I say, that would actually pay for like 4 fuel tanks for this helicopter, which is about 800 kilometers worth of exploring. So that's all right. Now, here is this island. I think that is an island. Yeah, you can buy it, but I think it's an island that you can build on as well, guys. I think you can put bases on there. And I will just check that as we go past. Yes, yes, there is the workbench. That is a structure workbench there. Or is that a vehicle workbench? There's the structure workbench, and there is the billboard where you can buy it. That's a really cool island, that one. Really cool. Can't see any crates on it, but we can buy that eventually if we want to. It's probably going to cost about 100 grand, that one there. So a bit expensive for right now, but we can always do that if we want to in the future. And it has plenty of flat ground for building bases as well. Right, now we've come down here. There is the island, and we're going to head north now along this line here, I think, just to uncover the edge of our map. And then we're going to go west again up north, and hopefully circle round, uncovering some more shipwrecks, hopefully, and then back to our base at the Isle of Donk. But even if we don't find any more shipwrecks, at least we have 2, right? And they are within reach of us as well. Okay, now look through our viewfinder there, guys. That is the creative base. The one and only creative base. We found it, and I love this base. It's so good. I may well end up buying this at some point as well. But yeah, there's so much to do. And also, guys, Season 2 is probably going to begin when the new update comes out. That might be 1 to 2 months away. We don't actually know yet. So we may have to do that in Season 2 if we don't have enough time in Season 1. But yeah, it is such a handy base, this. And as we fly over, we just have to make sure there are no crates lying about that we can take. But I can't see anything just at the moment. There's a better view. Yeah, I can't see anything on the rocks down there. Of course, there could be something in the hangar. Or even in the buildings. There's a couple of buildings on that island as well. Oh, I love that island. Anyway, it seems like there are no crates, at least visible from this angle. So let's continue down to this waypoint, and there's something else up there. I believe I am now in uncovered territory as far as the map is concerned. So let's just have a look on that map and find out where we are. Okay, that's good. Let's position our waypoint up here now. Yeah, this island, this creative island, I think it's like, well, it's a lot of money, basically. We have 132,000 and we don't have enough for it. So it could easily be 140 plus, you know, easily. But I can't remember actually the price at this point. Okay, now whatever this island is up here, I have not uncovered it on the map yet. And also there's one over there, isn't there? So maybe we'll go and fly in between these two and uncover both of them, and maybe there'll be a shipwreck in between. Okay, now this here is actually the military base, I believe, which is also really cool. I've never bought this before, but we can afford it actually, which is interesting because it is huge. It must be bigger than the creative base. It's got a big hangar there. It seems there's a dock. Can you build anything here? Yeah, it's hard to see really because oh, there's a crate down there, guys. Okay, let's go and get that. It's in between the two containers, if you can see that, the blue and the white one. And if there's anything else interesting down there, we'll see that as well, I guess. But we might as well do this as we're here. We need all the money we can get and all the research points we can get as well. Easy. Okay. We'll leave it running. Grab this very quickly. Okay, $1,000, 9 points and 4 microphones. Let's carry on, shall we? No vehicle workbench down here, unfortunately. I don't know why, guys. Why would there not be one? Because look at it. It's awesome for building, right? That is perfect for building vehicles. Except maybe you can only build aircraft on this base, which is such a shame. But anyway, you never know. They might add one in the future. I can't see why you wouldn't have a vehicle workbench down there. The dock is there. It's perfect, you know. So are we flying in the right direction? Let's just check that. Okay, we're actually going north, but okay, we've uncovered something here. Now, what's that? The Balfour Trench. Guys, if anyone knows if you can actually find treasure in these trenches, for example, let me know, because you might be able to, but I'm not sure. As far as I'm aware, it's only the actual shipwrecks. But perhaps we could go exploring some of those as well and, you know, and find out at least what they are. Now, up north is a purchasable island. Again, there's another one, which I think you can build on that as well. It might be the same, it might be different. But we're just going to head west a little bit. And, you know, just try and uncover as much as possible, essentially. We don't want to miss anything. Right, so nothing on this island, apparently, but that's alright. We'll just carry on up north now. You can't buy this one, but it's always worth checking out, isn't it? Okay, now we're approaching an island just up north, and I'm going to turn east in a minute to head back around across above the Isle of Donk. But here is where we are. And, yep, so next I'm going to follow along this line here. But before we do that, let's check out this island and try not to fall in the sea while we do it. Do you reckon that's the same as the other island? It might be. It looks very similar, doesn't it? It might be the same one, but I'm not sure. Yeah, there's nothing there. Wait, what's that? Is that as a bird, I think? Yeah, no crates. Right, we're going to head east now, and we're going north of the Isle of Donk. Okay guys, it's time to go home now. We've done quite a bit of exploring and uncovering. I didn't find any extra crates, so I think we just found 2 today, didn't we? Which is, it's not that good, but it's not that bad either. This is where we've got to. Now, as you'll see, I'm hovering over the train tracks right now. And if we follow them, we're going to get either to the Arctic or the Sawyer Isles. Now, of course, we do want to go there eventually, and I'm sure there'll be more shipwrecks to explore along the way. And I mean, the Sawyer Isles, that's a pretty big area, isn't it? And of course the Arctic as well. They're huge areas with really deep parts of the ocean as well. So that is for the future. But right now I'm going to head home, and then I'm going to show you the new submarine when we've gone to sleep and uncovered the last area of research that we needed. Alright, see you back at base. And just as the sun is setting and we're on our way home, look what we found. Another crate. That is number 3, I think, isn't it, guys? I think so. I'm not actually counting, but I believe that's the 3rd one. So let's get out of this thing. I'm going to leave the rotors running there because, yeah, the battery seems to drain very fast at the moment as well. I don't know why. Maybe there's been a change to the game in one of the updates. But that is good. 1500, 1 radio, and also 12 points. That is really good. Let's head home then. Finally, home at last, and this is what we've uncovered on the map. So, unfortunately, we didn't find any more shipwrecks. That is a real shame. There might be some down here, or there might be some around to the east here as well. I really don't know. That is a wind turbine there on the corner. So that's a shame, but at least we have 2, and we can explore those in the next episode. But now what I'm going to do, guys, is go to sleep, make sure the new parts have been researched, and then we're going to go into the workbench, have a look at the new vehicle I've made, which is going to be used to do some treasure hunting in the next episode. I'll see you in a minute, guys. Right, so research is done, guys. We've unlocked all the parts that we needed. Now everything is ready. Now we can go into the workbench, and before I do that, I might as well start something else going here. So what do I need? What could be useful to us next? I reckon heavy land vehicles could be handy, because from that we get trains, which of course is very useful, and that's pretty cheap to do. So if we go and do heavy land vehicles first, that's 20 points, 1 hour and 10 minutes. Nice and easy. And yeah, very handy, the wheels as well, and you get these tracks here as well, so that's cool. Alright, now with that being done, let's go into this workbench and check out what I've been working on. And here she is then, guys. I've been working really hard on this. It's the first submarine that I've ever made, and I probably didn't do things quite in the right order, which made it very difficult. However, I wanted to make it look interesting. I didn't want to make anything too big. And there are definitely improvements that we can make to this. However, this is now a fully working version of a submarine, and it is ready to go in the next episode. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is take you on a tour around this submarine, show some of the features it's got, okay? Now, this is actually where I started building the submarine to begin with. I wanted to have this shape at the front. I wanted to create some kind of sci-fi kind of look to it. It ended up looking a bit like an aircraft in some aspects, but I didn't really set out for it to be that way. But we have 2 spotlights here, and this collection of fluid ports here was actually meant to be the intake for the ballast tanks. It ended up being the cooling for the generator engine, which you'll see in a minute, and nothing else. I think the ballast tanks are somewhere else now. But anyway, I thought it looked pretty good as some kind of design on the bow here, so I left it there, and yeah, it's still used for cooling the engine. Down here we have a connector and an electrical connector, and that's pretty much it for the front. This V shape here is actually part of the keel, and we also have these sort of fins down the side as well. That means that if we do come to rest on the ocean floor, we actually don't tip over sideways. And also I've got some spotlights here for surround lighting as well, some really bright ones there. That's really useful. But coming up here, we have fins, guys, and that is what I needed to research, as you may have noticed before. These are going to be used for pitching the submarine up and down. And the reason why I'm not using the rear horizontal fins for pitch is because if I want to get off the seabed, and I don't have the ability to pump out water for whatever reason, I can drive forwards with this propeller here and then use these fins at the front of the submarine to pitch us up and take off. Now, if I was doing that from the rear with these fins, it would not work because it would just try and dig the tail into the sand, and yeah, we wouldn't get anywhere most likely. So that's why I've done that. And the fins at the rear, the horizontal ones here, they are for stability, just to keep us upright essentially. And I've got 2 altimeters there just to help us with that as well. Now, speaking of the propeller here, these sticky out things are really some sort of propeller guard, actually. There's nothing more complicated than that back here. And of course, these vertical fins are used for, I don't know if you call it yaw or just turning on a submarine, but it's the equivalent of yaw on an aircraft, of course. So they are basically used for turning us. Now on these wings or fins here, we do have some bigger spotlights and they are controlled. They've got pitch control and swivel control as well. And here we do have some rear facing spotlights as well. So we pretty much have light all the way around the sub. If we come to rest near a shipwreck, for example, we should be able to see around us in every direction. At least that is the idea. So hopefully that's the case. Now up here we have a small fin which doesn't do anything really, but it would probably just keep us a bit more stable when we're traveling underwater. It's really there just for looks and design, to be honest, but it might help us a bit. Okay, now on the foredeck here, these are two fluid connectors, and they are for putting fuel in and out of the tanks for the generator, because this submarine is electric powered with a diesel generator. And yes, we have release buttons there and pump buttons as well. And this fluid port is just I think that might be the air intake for the generator actually, but we'll go inside and see that in a minute. Now here we have some nav lights and a solar panel on top. Not that powerful, but it's better than nothing. Here is the hatch where you can get in. And I believe that is everything for the exterior, guys. Okay, so now I'm going to quickly take the camera underneath the deck and show you what I can inside the hull. It's a bit cramped in there, but hopefully we can see a thing or two. And then I'm going to go and spawn it in, and we'll walk inside this thing and take you on a tour of the interior. Right, so if we just go into the side of the hull here, you'll see two intakes. I'll just get my paintbrush out. There we go. Now these are intakes for the ballast tank, so this is where the water will flood into the hull and take us down to the bottom of the ocean. And this whole area here is basically a ballast tank at this point. It goes round. We've got another two pumps on that side, of course, just to keep things nice and symmetrical, but they fill it up really quickly. And I think it's about 16, nearly 17,000 litres, this whole ballast tank, and I've only got one for the whole thing. I've stuck an extra medium battery down there as a backup battery actually, and I'll show you that later. But this is still the ballast tank back here, and then behind this wall I have a giant battery. So I've got one at the front and one at the back of this submarine. We can't really see too much in here, but yeah, that rear battery, if I just go into this mode here, you can see there is the giant battery for the rear of the submarine. There is some logic which just controls, lights and various instrument panels in the bridge. And here up front is the generator, and you might be able to see it there, the other battery just in front of us right now. But it's pretty tricky to see. There it is. It's just behind the ballast tank wall there. Here it is. Okay, now back here we do have our generator. It's a small diesel engine with a medium-sized generator and a gearbox. I think, what is the ratio? Oh no, do you know what, guys? I used to have a gearbox here, but I figured out in this scenario that just having the engine straight into the generator, at least from what I can tell, is the best way of generating as much power as possible. And that is not taking into consideration efficiency of the engine with fuel. And I would like to have this a bit better and more fuel efficient. However, in terms of power, it generates the most amount of energy in this configuration. And then down here, I've got two medium fuel tanks, which you might be able to see, one on either side, and they are just fueling the generator and the two pumps which go back up onto the deck. Right then, so let's spawn her in now and have a look. We'll go into the hatch and have a look at all of the interior. So the button for the hatch is here on top near the solar panel. We're going to jump inside. Now this is an automatic light here. So whenever you're in this room, it just turns on. It is a bit dark, admittedly, but it does work. So I just put my flashlight on as well for the moment. Ignore that as a painting mistake there. Now this in here, guys, is an airlock. And the reason I've got this is because when you're, 100 meters down near a shipwreck, we want to get out of this thing and go exploring with our scuba gear, which is in the other room. You can actually get out of this hatch, but then the room here will fill up with water instantly, of course. So when you want to come back into the sub, you can close this hatch again when it's flooded, press this button, and it's going to eject all the water using these pumps. I've got triple pumps here on either side, so that's 6 in total, and they're just going to pump out the water, and then we can see here when it's back to 0 again. Okay, but that's the idea of this. It works really well. But now let's go into the actual the bridge here. And this is where we pilot this sub, of course. So I've got several instrument panels here. And first of all, though, here are the generator controls. I've got one medium generator, as you saw before, 2 fuel tanks there, and the battery level. Now to start it, you just put the key on and then turn it off again, and it starts. And then this here is an engine cutoff, which you can use just to turn it off again. And then here we've got our diving gear, which is of course very important, guys. So when we are going to go treasure hunting, this is what we need to wear basically when we go out of the hatch. But now if we sit in the seat, we have an artificial horizon. We've got a breaker to cut power to the propeller, and we've got a backup battery, which is the medium one that you saw in the ballast tank. Okay, so that is actually really helpful. Having a bit more battery power improves the power of your pumps to pump out water in the ballast and surface quicker. So that's really useful. We have speed as well. I think that's in meters per second at the moment, but I may convert it at some point. That is another battery dial, just so we can see it without having to turn around. We have a bow connector at the front, so you switch that on, and then you can see that on just there. Next we have fin spotlights here, and you saw them before, but that's them just there. So if we turn that on, now these are lighting up, and they're pretty powerful, guys. And of course I do have them on controls as well. So if you can see under there, I am now spinning them with my arrow keys, and you can go up and down. Now they are on, but if you're above the water and they're below the water, it appears that they're off. But then if we just move the camera underneath, you can see they are actually on. So that's good. Anyway, we have full control of those. What do we have next? We have the cabin lights here, and there's one under the panel here as well, actually. It's still kind of dark in here, but it's all right. I don't want to have too many lights because of performance, and sometimes, as you guys know, the lights can really drain your performance. But anyway, we've got those. We have nav lights on top here as well, red and green. And then what else have we got here? Surround spotlights. There we go. So we've got the 2 side ones on either side. We have 2 at the front and 2 at the rear as well. So it gives us really good coverage, guys. And that is, of course, in addition to the controllable spotlights which we have as well. Next we have instrument lights, and simply that just lights up everything on the panel here, as well as the generator lights just back there over our shoulder. Okay, so everything is nice and visible, and I'll talk about these indicators in just a second. But here we have our dive control and our service control. So that is what fills and empties the ballast tank just below us. So, for example, if I press this, you can see the ballast level is increasing. And if I press this to surface, the ballast level is decreasing. Now, when it is full, we just have this indicator light here, which turns on just to show us that it is full and we are going to be sinking at the maximum rate, essentially. Now, here we have current depth, which is actually on an altimeter, and that is where we are in relation to the water level, the surface level, okay? So currently we are at 0 pretty much, and the sensor is a bit below 0, of course, so that's why it's showing -1. And then next to it we have a warning light, okay? Warning, cannot surface at 100 meters plus depth. Now actually, that is actually going to be over 120 meters now. I've tested it to 120 meters, and we can surface only using the ballast tanks from that depth. Now it might go even further, but I don't want to risk it. But as you guys saw earlier, the shipwrecks are only 80 meters deep, which means that we are very, very capable of, you know, going right down to the bottom, resting on the sands down there, and then coming back up without using any power from the propellers or electric motors at all, only the ballast tanks. And that's really important. That's quite an efficient way of getting down and up again. And then over here we have a depth under the hull, which basically just measures literally, you know, the distance between us and the ground beneath us. And then that is a warning light there, which just says, you know, if that warning light is on, it means do not dive right down to the sea floor, because it would be greater than, for example, 120 meters. I may have to adjust my thresholds on that a bit. But as I say, 120, maybe 130 would be okay. I don't know about 150. It's possible, right? The thing is, when I've tested it, I haven't had maximum battery power. I've had about 75-80%. So on full battery power, I'm sure we probably could go 150 meters. But with less battery power, it's harder to push the water back out of the ballast tanks again because the pressure's too high. And so therefore, yeah, we have to be a bit careful about that. But we do have warning lights to help us. But that is all we have time for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked the new sub. And I can't wait to use this in the next episode when we do some treasure hunting, guys, finally. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. The like and subscribe buttons are there if you enjoyed the video. Otherwise, take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.